Death is only a doorway. Not every soul passes through. Dana is a medium that allows an entity to speak through her. Abigail has the ability to see and communicate with a spirit. Ron is an investigative journalist, always searching for the answers. Sean uses scientific tools in search of proof. Dr. Larry Montz is the leader of the investigative team. And this is Haunted: Investigations of the Paranormal.
Things have been going bump in the night in Leicester. Security cameras have captured what appear to be two ghostly apparitions in the grounds of Belgrave Hall Museum.
We always are looking for reputable investigators, and Dr. Montz fit the bill as a reputable investigator, so I'm extremely honoured and pleased that he's come all the way from California.
I found a condemned property in Laurel Canyon, and it turned out to be the former home of Jim Morrison.
Benjamin has invited top parapsychologist Larry Montz and clairvoyant Abigail to his home to see if they can support his supernatural claims.
In the spring of 1999, writer and founder of Comic Relief Bob Zamuda hired a cadre of mediums to find out if the ghost was the restless spirit of Andy Kaufman.
We never contacted Andy, but he had picked up another entity at the Comedy Store. I think his name was Gus.
Oh my God. I mean, they are so angry.
Is this a male or female?
It's male.
Okay.
It's male. They have a gun.
Let's ask ghost expert and parapsychologist Dr. Larry Montz. Are there really ghosts on board?
There are 3 entities that haunt the ship.
Okay. Hear yourself silly with top 10 ghostly getaways. Sunday night starting at 8, only on the Travel Channel.
Ron Kilgore belongs to a team called the International Society for Paranormal Research.
Well, the first thing that we would do is after we've decided that the property could be haunted, I will bring in a lot of scientific equipment.
To better understand the strange occurrences, Judy contacted Larry Montz, a parapsychologist and paranormal investigator.
Our actual organization is the International Society for Paranormal Research, and we have what we call Hauntings Today investigations and ghost expeditions.
And now, back to National Geographic Explorer and your host, Boyd Mattson.
What's this device you're using to try and locate ghosts?
Actually, this is a magnetometer that measures electromagnetic energy fields.
It is their choice to haunt the particular property they're in.
Take a peek at Hauntings Today.
There's a good chance somebody here on the 3rd floor died.
Parapsychologists in New Orleans profess with the War of 1812, the Civil War, epic fires, and gruesome murders, this is a crowded house of spirits.
We find it to be one of the most haunted, if not the most haunted city in America at this time.
We've got some real ghostbusters in L.A., a group that tracks down paranormal activity all over the world.
Here they try and photograph a teddy bear. After several failed attempts, the camera finally works. This image of the teddy bear with the glowing ball of light appeared on film.
Now, of all the creepy jobs in Hollywood, this one can really send a chill up your spine. Just ask these real-life Ghostbusters. Jody Baskerville reports on the man who called on their spiritual guidance.
9 times out of 10, when we conduct an investigation in a house like this, we find that it's not a malevolent entity.
Cuando regresemos en control. El doctor Larry Montz, que lleva casi 30 años estudiando lo paranormal,
encontrado en este edificio.
These 3 women are the secret weapons in a most unusual investigating team. They work for internationally known ghost hunter Dr. Larry Montz.
You might call them Larry's Angels.
Larry Montz y sus colaboradoras son miembros de la Sociedad Internacional para la Investigación de Fenómenos Paranormales con sede en Los Ángeles. Ellos organizan expediciones por varias propiedades de la región.
For the International Society for Paranormal Research. That's right, I said paranormal as in ghost.
Hello everybody and welcome to Fix It, the home show for do-it-yourselfers. I'm your host Jeff Probst. The Bowden family out in New Orleans was concerned that their house might be haunted, so they called in parapsychologist Larry Montz, and here's what they found out.
Larry Montz runs a Society for Paranormal Research International, Ghostbusters for the 90s.
For parapsychology, we believe New Orleans is the #1 area to conduct research and investigations.
It felt like a man, but I didn't get a lot more information.
Some have told us that it's Jack, the ghost of Jack Warner.
Really? And it's a man, and you find there.
Right there,
really,
yeah.
We haven't told them any. That's really interesting. What should we do? What's the next step?
Ask him for money.
Hollywood Ghost Stories premieres tonight at 9 on AMC.
We have found through the years that numerous entities do survive here in Hollywood.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and this is AMC's Hollywood Ghost Stories. Dr. Larry Montz is one of the few experts in this country with a PhD in parapsychology. His organization, the International Society of Paranormal Research, is compiling important data in a variety of fascinating cases.
Spend a week on the paranormal side with Ghost Expeditions New Orleans. You'll stay at an actively haunted bed and breakfast, dine at the famous Haunted Baco restaurant, and explore New Orleans with a paranormal researcher. From Ghost Expeditions New Orleans, $3,832.
There you go. Very nice. You go to New Orleans, which is a great place for spirits.
After 25 years of doing this professionally, there are such things as ghosts, without a doubt. Scientifically, we can now capture evidence either on film or with equipment that states that there is some type of phenomena taking place. Someone would call us and they'd say, gee, I think my house is haunted, and we would run out there with all this high-tech equipment and put it in the living room like in the movie Poltergeist, right, and sit there and wait.
この映像は彼ら ISPR のメンバーたちがイギリスの幽霊屋敷を調査した時の模様。
Ghosts. Well, they apparently are out there, according to some people, and he is just the man to go out and get them. Dr. Larry Montz is the name, and parapsychology is his game. Linda Joyce joins us live from Hollywood with more on all this ghost chasing. Linda.
There's a check for $10,000 and a ghost expedition in England. You and a guest will work with world-renowned ISPR investigator Dana Smoller in England's most haunted places with dining, accommodations, and a 4-day private ghost expedition. Provided by the International Society for Paranormal Research, worth $8,408.
Right. Well, let's see the first tape of you working here last night.
Right. You could just feel the energy that was in that hallway. And so, I mean, as I got down there before everybody else, I mean, of course I did.
It was very intense.
It was very, very intense.
Larry Montz is the founder of the International Society of Paranormal Research. Montz studies the unexplainable across the world and has done extensive research in Louisiana.
Now that I've had a chance to study psychics in the field, I have found that some are actually valid.
The director demanded realism.
As Stephen had us meeting with psychics and ghost hunters and all kinds of the most bizarre people we'd ever imagined.
We'll come back to reveal the final Jeopardy category. Go, Johnny.
For today's second place contestant, in honor of Halloween, we'll send you and a guest to spooky Hollywood, California,
where you'll participate in scientific paranormal research during an overnight ghost expedition with trained investigators and world-renowned parapsychologist Dr. Larry Montz. Plus, enjoy the comforts of a historic Hollywood hotel from Ghost Expeditions.
We find that that's true. You know, many times a person that dies that remains earthbound has a reason to remain, obviously. And here in LA, you know, we say that they stay to protect their Mercedes. So, yeah, that's the important thing here.
Voilà, s'il y a des fantômes à Hollywood, c'est parce que les défunts reviennent. Dr Montz est parapsychologue de métier et muni de son détecteur, il traque les fantômes 365 jours par an. Notamment dans un petit cinéma de quartier, le Vogue Theater à Hollywood.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rod Dublin, here with the dubious distinction of hosting today's gossip show from a haunted movie theater. And I'm here with famed parapsychologist, Dr. Larry Montz. And Doctor, can you tell me a little bit about what happened in this very actual projection room?
Internationally known parapsychologist Dr. Larry Montz joined us on our search for Hollywood's ghosts. The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel is a place where some say you can see a celebrity ghost. Marilyn Monroe's. A cleaning woman once claimed to see her ghost in this mirror, but Dr. Montz has his doubts. His team of paranormal researchers have been all over the world looking for ghosts.
We just walked in, and Doc says, definitely, he's in here right now. What do you feel right now?
On this edition of Sighting, she's known as the Iron Woman, and she survived World War II's kamikaze attacks. Now, as this once proud ship is being turned into scrap iron, the spirits of her past are growing restless.
Sightings of the shadowy form in uniform are on the rise, leading paranormal investigators to surmise that there is a connection between increased haunting activity and the scrapping of the ship.
Entities that die suddenly do not know where they are or where they should go, so they remain in that particular site as well.
No information about the ship's bloody rendezvous with the kamikaze. Montz is trying to determine if hits on his equipment, indicating physical changes in the ship's environment, will correspond to psychic hits.
Jody Baskerville takes us there with two spiritually gifted women who claim they can help unlock some of those secrets.
Picking up two separate energies. Energies, yes. Both involving a murder. Yes. So two separate cases. Two separate cases.
Psychics Linda McKenzie and Dana Smaller say the hills here are alive with the spiritual vibrations of the violently dead.
The Brothers Grimm.
I disagree.
You're going on a ghost expedition. Hans Christian Andersen, let's hear about your trip.
You're off to England for a week stay at a British inn in Lancashire County. Join the world-renowned team of the International Society for Paranormal Research. Take a private tour through ghostly inhabited Belgrave Hall. Or is it? From Ghost Expeditions. This haunted expedition is worth $8,959.
There you go.
Ghost Expeditions offers an otherworldly look at the paranormal and those things that go bump in the night. But be warned, you gotta go where the spooks are. From the haunted streets in Hollywood, I'm Mark Marino reporting. Easy.
De acuerdo a investigaciones realizadas por el Instituto Smithsonian, esta plantación de myrtles es la casa más embrujada en los Estados Unidos.
Hemos investigado la plantación Myrtles, la plantación Oak Alley y algunas otras casas aquí en el barrio francés. Esta es una ciudad muy embrujada y continuamos con las investigaciones, pero definitivamente hemos encontrado que esta ciudad es una ciudad de fantasmas y los lugares mencionados están habitados por espíritus.
Larry Montz is a parapsychologist with the International Society for Paranormal Research. But don't call him a ghostbuster. For Larry and his team, tracking ghosts, even at the Comedy Store, is no laughing matter.
People think that we're all ghostbusters, and we're not. I don't have any ghostbusting equipment like you saw in the movie.
At one point, while taping in Fritz's projection room, I suddenly got nauseous.
You feel better?
Really close to throwing up.
Yeah.
Does that really happen?
Let's go down and say he didn't want us in the room.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Feel my face.
He nailed it.
Feel a cold sweat.
Dr. Montz says it was because Fritz didn't like me messing with his stuff, so he messed with me.
It was really weird. Our batteries in our cameras kept draining. We've had to replace them. And it was a very odd experience.
Now, you pulling my leg, you felt like you were going to throw up because of something in that room?
I'm just telling you that I got really nauseous. And the camera, I didn't even know the camera was on me. I just went to leave after shooting a stand-up.
So we understand that ghosts walk the stage today. Would you like to go with us?
Boy, would I! After hours of investigations, the ISPR team felt that Stage 28 is home to at least 3 ghosts. Oh, and a few other creatures, too.
Well, thank you. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Other Half. Well, that's right. Please welcome parapsychologist Dr. Larry Montz and ISPR, I don't know exactly what that stands for, Dana Smaller. Yo, yes. Thank you very much. Please have a seat. Now, tell us, please, what you guys actually do.
Let's go to the ISPR.
Yeah, what is that?
ISPR is a paranormal organization that I founded in 1972, and it's the International Society for Paranormal Research.
Okay. All right. Now, we have other members of your team joining us at the moment, right? I believe Sean Roop and John York. They're here in the audience with us. There we go. Hi, guys. Hey, guys. How's it going? Now, we all know that earlier this week you came by our stage to see if it was haunted. So will they. We got a lot going on. We got a San Francisco trip, hsn.com shopping spree, and today's shadow. What are we adding?
It's a ghost expedition in New Orleans. Work with renowned ISPR investigator Dana Smaller in the Big Easy's most haunted places with dining, accommodations, and a 4-day private ghost expedition from International Society for Paranormal Research worth $4,596.
Our secret square is...
When parapsychologist Larry Montz visited the office building, he came face to face with one of its unearthly residents.
And as she turned to walk around the corner, I also went around the corner to see what happened to her, and very quickly I saw her enter a door that was closed and went right through the door and disappeared. As a matter of fact, 2 clairvoyant team investigators ID'd an individual standing by the women's bathroom.
Cross this threshold to places of mystery. Dr. Larry Montz and Dana Smaller of the International Society for Paranormal Research are exploring the prison for evidence of paranormal activity.
Earlier this morning, we were just really primarily going through to kind of see if maybe I picked up on some different kinds of clairvoyant information.
Anytime you come to a real historical facility like Alcatraz, you expect to find activity of some kind.
Ghost expert, Dr. Larry Montz.
Can you name the ghosts? And Danny, you've been dealing with ghosts for 30 years. Yes. Long time to be in the field.
In this case, the activity that is going on in the house seems to be pretty minor. I think it could be kind of a benevolent being.
Now, we tagged along as one of the co-stars wanted some real-life ghost hunting.
Those things that science can't explain and religion chooses to ignore.
In real life, actress Helen Shaver has a fascination for the unexplainable. And today, she does a little field research with an investigative team from the International Society for Paranormal Research. The location, the abandoned Vogue Theater in Hollywood. Shaver and investigator Dana Smaller went looking for ghosts.
Ghosts of Tinseltown continues on TNN.
Then in the late 1980s, he died of a heart attack in the projection room during a movie.
A bit of mischief.
We were doing an investigation here, our first formal investigation, and one of our investigators started channeling one of the children.
Tim and Jeffrey Tambor will tell you what's in the secret square stash.
I love a good ghost story. It's a ghost expedition in New Orleans. You and the guest will join ISPR team investigator Dana Smoller on a 4-day exclusive private ghost expedition through the most actively haunted buildings of New Orleans, French Quarter, courtesy of the world-renowned International Society for Paranormal Research, worth $5,799.
Jeffrey, thanks. We'll show you folks at home who the secret square is. Very nice.
Oh, we got the ghost expedition.
What is that?
That's a ghost expedition. That's the trip to London, and you go for 1 week to participate in an investigation of a real haunted mansion.
It's not Goshen, I'll tell you that.
No. Okay. Valued at $5,000, though.
It'd be something nice for you and Leland to go on a little expedition over to London, and you spend some time in a haunted castle. Is that what it said? And yeah, look for a ghost.
I love that. My mother is from London, England.
Hell is this?
Many times I work with people conducting past life regressions, and it's amazing information that we gain by an individual that would have no knowledge of previous experiences in different places, but they're able to identify where they used to be, how they lived, and so on.
Of the South attracted Maria Sagana since she was a little girl, but when she finally visited New Orleans on vacation, she learned that something sinister had drawn her there. Montz was with Maria when she encountered a violent spirit. Okay,
Cheryl Keck is on a ghost hunt. What'd you find, Cheryl?
She was joking around and laughing and so on with another friend, and she fell by mistake. Fires that occurred here, the wars that were here, the epidemics that were here.
Team member Dana Smoller, a medium, gives a brief orientation to volunteers who will take part in what they call an expedition.
When we're in here doing a ghost expedition, the place tends to be a little more active. And the reason is because we know the entities, they know us.
The team has been studying the Vogue Theater for years, and they say the place is definitely haunted.
Dr. Montz's team travels around the world investigating claims of hauntings. They say most cases turn out not to be ghosts.
This is Strange Universe.
2 of the male entities that we have located actually were either like bodyguards, people that worked for Ciro's.
Say that. Charlie, you have a prize here for this next round?
I do indeed, Pat. Here's a scary adventure. You're off to New Orleans for a private ghost expedition with renowned ISPR investigator Dana Smoller in the Big Easy's most haunted places from the International Society for Paranormal Research. $4,364.
Yeah. Very spooky.
The group was called in because of reports from renters that without explanation, doors would open and close, lights would turn on and off, and shadows would mysteriously pass through.
On blind dates, who wants to date a millionaire?
Welcome to the Vogue Theater. You know this place is haunted.
Is it really?
Really? Yeah, we're going to give you some equipment, and you're going to go around the theater by yourselves.
Come on, ghosts, let's see some action.
Angelique has a tendency to move through the crowd sometimes, and when she does, some people will feel brushes of cold go around them.
What's your most memorable experience?
And I actually felt one of the other entities here come up and like touch my neck slightly. But that was the first time I'd ever had like a physical touch like that from an entity.
Well, some believe that New Orleans is the most haunted city in the United States. And our guests today have experienced that haunting belief firsthand. We welcome you back to the 4th Annual Ghost Story Festival. Please help me welcome Larry Montz. Is it true that there is a sensation of a cold we hear about, or a wind, a light breeze?
And there's a house in Old Town that was built in the 1800s, and it's very haunted.
Today our show is The New Millennium.
Well, I think that the future holds many wonderful things.
Okay. You guys want to come up? We'll do a recap.
Okay.
You were getting something at the time.
I'm sorry?
You were definitely getting something there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So we can do a recap of the whole thing. Okay.
Okay, wait, can you get Joel?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like what we have found here are actually 3 entities, 2 males and a female.
Hi, Tracy Gallagher for the Travel Channel at the haunted Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. Meet a real live Ghostbuster, Dr. Larry Montz. He doesn't need a proton pack to catch his ghosts. What's this, Dr. Larry?
A magnetometer. It reads electromagnetic energy fields.
We'll leave catching ghosts to the experts.
Only one is the real Dr. Larry Montz, and the other 2 are lying. The real Dr. Larry Montz is a professional parapsychologist. He makes his living helping people when they think their house is haunted. He works with a team of clairvoyants and scientists and has investigated houses, castles, and even an aircraft carrier. His services aren't cheap, and he has sworn to tell the truth.
Parapsychology encompasses many types of paranormal events that can never be explained by normal scientific methods. So parapsychology is really the scientific study of different types of phenomena. I have concentrated mainly on the phenomena called ghost all these years, and also studying human beings that have psychic abilities. I have concentrated on going into the field, taking people into the field with me, and studying their own abilities to deal with the dead. I founded the International Society for Paranormal Research in 1972. And the ISPR team consists of only 7 individuals, so it's not a huge organization or a membership type of club. It is a very small scientific group of personnel with clairvoyance that go out into the field and work on criminal and paranormal cases. Yeah, I can tell. Okay. We're going to have to move her out of here. Okay. She's obviously channeling somebody who died in a fire. And I get that it's a male, and almost like a barn or something caught fire before this site was here.
1 out of 100 cases we find to be negative. So it's really not like you see on TV where every time you walk into a place, you know, all hell breaks loose and there are demons and monsters, you know. That's not really the case.
You went to an aircraft carrier.
Yes. It was the USS Cabot that was on the Mississippi River in New Orleans at the time. And they wanted us to determine where 2 kamikaze pilots actually hit the ship. And we found those locations with no information. And we also found that 35 people had died on board. And then the really shocked them, we also discovered an admiral on board that had died, that they had transferred from another ship to that one during the war. And only the top secret people at the government knew that. So,
wow, isn't that fascinating?
Clairvoyants seemed to get enough right that they made believers out of more than a few people. They also felt the presence of plenty of big stars. So what will happen to the ghosts of Columbia Square?
Back in the day, the Comedy Store was a mafia-owned nightclub called Ciro's. So before comics were killing in the main room, the mob was whacking people in the basement. Which is why some people, including my mom, thinks the place is still haunted. I grew up here and I've never once seen a ghost.
You know, the mob used to kill people there. Those are the ghosts.
Okay, I'll handle it, Mom. We'll figure it out some way. So one way or another, we'll figure it out. We'll get the ghost rid of the ghost.
Hey, Dean. Hey, thanks for coming down. What's up? Well, I just got off the phone with Paulie, and he said that Mitzi wants, that Ghostbuster guy back. Oh, okay. Okay.
You gotta open up and believe, Dean. This is important stuff.
All right, Dean, so why don't we do this? Why don't I take you through the property, show you where these events have taken place, and let's use some of the equipment and see what's there now. Whoa, I just got a spike right here.
Spike?
Yeah, it just spiked. The meter spiked and then went back down to zero
I didn't
again.
see it.
And then we meet Dr. Larry Montz.
So I'm Dr. Larry Montz, and I am a doctor of parapsychology. So I was asked to come here tonight to conduct an actual investigation to determine whether or not this property is actually haunted. Here's what we're going to do tonight, you guys. I'm going to have you assist me to determine if this property is haunted.
People alive don't understand me. How in the world are you going to understand me?
Because they communicate more telepathically than verbally, so they're not going to be worried about your accent. Something just moved his chair. Oh my God, Gene. Can you copy, Dave? Dave, can you hear me? Are you okay still there?
Something hit my chair.
His blood-curdling scream and the sounds of his bones being crushed were heard throughout the hospital. So I want you to just sit there and listen for a minute. Tell me if you hear anything. Okay. Go ahead into the room. You are now standing in what was discovered as the hidden electroshock therapy room. With the flip of a switch, several thousand volts of electrical current passed through their body, often causing muscle spasms so intense they broke bones. Here's what I want you to do. To have Charles stand in that room, and then you go back to the elevator shaft, Jordan, and I want to see if any activity occurs and in which room.
New Orleans is known to be a haunted destination.
One day I was walking through the hallway,
and the water faucet went on by itself.
I've always felt Mr. Johnson's presence here.
To hearing creaks in the woodwork when I've been by myself.
Underneath that dining room table directly was a crypt.
Family members or relatives were coming back to visit other generations of the family.
And she was quite disturbed when she had to go into certain rooms of the house, particularly upstairs.
Starting at 7:30 at night, the doors would open. That's the entry to the Le Cafe. And we joke and say that was the employees who passed away.
It sent a chill to my body.
New Orleans, the definitive crossroads, known for celebrating life's excesses and accepting its otherworldly undertones. New Orleans' haunted reputation is known around the globe and considered by experts to be the most actively haunted city in America. Parapsychologist Dr. Larry Montz of the International Society for Paranormal Research leads the world-renowned ISPR investigative field team through 9 properties of distinction in which to meet their earthbound entities and relay their stories.
J, the jocker, jacker, the different spelling.
Jock, tell us for Ramon who built Oak Alley.
Issues run deep and emotions run high during paranormal field investigations, combining scientific technology with advanced clairvoyant abilities.
I was awakened in the middle of the night because of someone standing at the foot of my bed.
Somebody is watching them.
With rare spirit communications,
she was watching through my eyes.
Paranormal anomalies caught on film. These professional investigations showcase what has never before been seen on television. For the first time ever, New Orleans socialites will come to terms with the spirits that share their space. This is New Orleans Rich and Haunted.
In the summer of 1984, an astounding supernatural event took place that altered history forever. 5 years later, hauntingly similar events unfolded. A team of professional paranormal investigators joined forces to uncover the truth of a gateway to another dimension of untold evil. parapsychologist Dr. Larry Montz, founder of the International Society for Paranormal Research and creator of Ghost Expeditions.
The building in the city of Manhattan became a vortex or doorway for paranormal activity, causing the demand for services of several parapsychologists from a university in New York.
Hey, anybody see a ghost? There's something strange in the neighborhood.
Who are you gonna call?
Yes, we're back.
One day I read an article on quantum physics and parapsychology. I thought, wouldn't it be great to marry this concept in a fantasy?
What are you supposed to be, some kind of a cosmonaut?
No, we're exterminators. Somebody saw a cockroach up on 12th.
When an entity becomes angry, bad things can happen.
Fire and brimstone, earthquakes, volcanoes, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Enough, I get the point.
Starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Annie Potts, William Atherton, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, and Ernie Hudson.
That was really stupid.
Directed by Ivan Reitman.
To have a film that worked out as well as Ghostbusters was extraordinarily satisfying.
Digitally remastered and bursting with tons of special features. Wow! Including deleted scenes.
Didn't your mama ever tell you not to get involved with no Ghostbuster? Now go on home. Be gone.
Plus a collectible movie scrapbook.
There's something you don't see every day.
And so much more.
Nice shooting, Tex. What are you doing?
Danny Aykroyd always used to refer to Slimer as the ghost of John Belushi.
So get Slime.
Feels so funky.
With Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on DVD, the Ghostbusters double feature gift set. Own it August 2nd.
Those don't even compare to an adroit cyclopean spectral kelpie, of course better known as a self-contained ectoforce ethereal being.
Everybody getting this so far? We're the best. We're the beautiful. We're the only Ghostbuster.